Professional YouTuber Vlog, day 171. This is the day that we decided, for sure, our workflow is neither working nor flowing. So we're going to do things differently. It's going to be really funny to look back at this and be like, oh yeah, that wasn't a good idea at all. But we're going to try, because here's the thing. Here's the thing I realized. We have been, for a long time now, trying to get back to what worked and try to do that because we know it worked. But you know what? It worked at a time when things were very different. We had other jobs, yeah, but at the same time, when we were working on the channel, what working on the channel meant was one thing. Like for me, I was either researching and that's all I had to do, or writing and that's all I had to do, or shooting and that's all I had to do that day for the show. And Edward, had to do the cut or the graphics or whatever, but that's all he had to do. And now it's so different because we've got a lot of emails coming in and messaging. We've got Discord. We've got, I'm going to school. We've got all these other things that are also for the show. And we also used to work more independently. I think one of the reasons why the show is actually stronger now is Edward will help punch up a script and I will sit there with him and help him with the edit. And that kind of collaboration makes for really good content, but at the same time, it makes it hard because now there's so many interruptions to our creative flow. If I'm writing, I'm not just writing. I'm also on Discord. I'm also responding to tweets. I'm also answering emails. I'm also stopping to have a meeting with somebody about, like an expert that we want to work with for a future episode. And I'm also stopping to help Edward, give notes on the edit, that kind of thing. Oh, Chloe, she's so effective. Every time Chloe steps on the keyboard, really she does something.
She did it with my phone, and she did it with the TV. Anytime she's near any electronics, things are happening.
Chloe would like to learn to code. If anybody would like to teach Chloe to code, she's very effective. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's really hard to go and do like the really good deep work that we used to do. So like even though the videos are better, like I don't know, I don't go as deep. I don't work as deep as I used to, and I think that's because I don't get to go as deep into my flow as I used to. And it's making us ineffective to a certain degree. Like we're getting good videos up, but it's slowing us down. So what I realized is we just need to accept that we can't do the video a week that we used to do. We've got too much else on our plate. So what I think we can do, Edward's looking at me with a, like, huh?
I'm still not so sure I'm on that part of the train yet.
Well, hang on. Like, the main, like, really intense research-heavy episodes, we can't put out one a week. We've been trying for a long time, and it does not happen. So we end up taking 2+ weeks for one episode, and instead of working against our brains and like trying to force them to a schedule that like YouTube says we should be on or whatever, we have to work with our brains to a certain extent and go, you know what? We need the space to be creative. And we also need to eat. So this is the plan. 1 week this is the plan. We'll give ourselves 2 weeks to create a video. One of these intense, like, heavy videos, research heavy. I don't mean, like, we're always going to do depressing videos. Yeah, but this is what we'll do. 1 week will be dedicated to creating the video, and that'll be very heavy on my end. And 1 week will be dedicated to editing and doing post-production, graphics and stuff. And that will be very heavy on Edward. And when it's my week, then Edward can be available to help me punch up the script or run something by him or whatever. And I won't be interrupting his creative flow because he'll be doing admin stuff. He'll be doing emails and responding to messages and, making sure that we have groceries in the house, that kind of thing.
Basically,
taking any meetings.
We'll swap off being the artist and the adult.
Yeah, exactly. Don't parent each other. But hey, if you parent each other like every other week, it kind of balances out, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, one of us will be the adult and one of us will be the artist every week. And I think that that's going to help a lot because then I can get lost in my research. I can get lost in creating something. Chloe's now deleting things. Okay, I'm going to close the laptop. I can get lost in things and not have to worry about things going to hell. And the next week, Edward can do the same. Because what I realized last night was I keep putting my entire life on hold every time we're behind on a video. And so if I think a video is going to go out one day and it doesn't, like, I'm like, okay, my crunch time, my crisis brain kicks in and I'm like, let's do this. And we hyper-focus. But then we don't go to the gym and we don't go to the grocery store and we don't shower some days. So it's like
I like how you say some days like it's not today.
Yeah, we don't shower today. And so it's like, instead of doing that and going, oh, well, it's a crisis every time, go, you know what? Okay, if it's a crisis every week, it's not a crisis. That's the way your brain works. And you've got to work with that, right? You can't just keep pretending it's not happening or try harder. That we know this by now. It doesn't work. So yeah, we're going to try it. And eventually it'll get to the point where on the easy weeks, when it's my turn to get like really intense, when it's Edward's turn to get really intense on an edit, I will write and shoot a very easy video, like a very easy. But I have to stick to this. We have a rule.
This is second phase. You're jumping.
Oh,
ahead
it's second
already.
phase.
You're
I
jumping
know.
ahead already.
Let me overcommit. Okay, so first phase, we're gonna be disciplined. We're gonna get out 2 videos a month.
Mm-hmm.
2, and they're gonna be good
to get the system locked down.
To get the system good and locked down, and then once we have the system locked down, because you're right, you can't do everything at once. Once we have the system locked down, then when it's an easy week for me, and I'm in charge of the admin and keeping us alive, I will also write and shoot an easy video. And our rule for that is it can only take a day to create the video, and then I can shoot it for like half a day or whatever, like, you know, whatever,
we'll
few hours. We'll shoot together. And then the next week when I'm heavy in my research and writing and stuff, then Edward will edit the easy video and do the admin stuff, and be in charge of adulting.
Which
so
I also love.
Yeah, which he also loves. So this will be really interesting. Basically, what we've done is made it so that we can each get to go to that cabin in the woods and just be an artist, and the house won't fall apart. Because if we are both trying to be the artist at the same time, we have learned that is all that gets done. And then we both get into hyper-focus mode and both get into perfectionist mode. And the video takes as long as it takes. And sometimes that means a video goes up a week later than we expected it to. Because like, oh my God, and then this. And then, oh, actually, it's 2 videos and all of this. And meanwhile, the house looks like this, you know? And it's like, it's not that we don't have strategies. It's that we don't have time to use those strategies because we're crunching on a video. But this would make it so that only one of us gets to crunch on a video at a time. So,
which is so smart. That is my favorite. Can I give them my pitch for what I think this idea is?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the short version of it. By the way, oh God, this was a 3-minute video, guys. You have no idea how long this is. I can't believe it.
That's the other thing. Whoever's not the artist that week gets to like make predictions and be the producer and be like, oh yeah, you only have until this day until this day at this time, and then after that you can only do notes. Like, I will give you notes on what I think needs to change, and then we're putting it up. So we might have a couple of bad videos while we get this system in place.
So here's why I think this is awesome. Everything is cheaper when you buy it in bulk, right? Okay. And the issue is...
Transitions are hard.
Transitions are really hard. And so what I love about this idea is, well, first of all, we keep, like, trying to go every week, and we just keep failing.
Yeah.
And I hate to it. Oh, God. This
Epic fails.
It really hurts my heart to say that. But it does. We have been. So rather than...
Well, we've been feeling at that. Like, we've been putting out good content.
We're making great videos. Usually the ones that take longer are better. It's not like we're not ridiculous on that. Because there are people who will spend 3 weeks on a video and then it's terrible.
That's true.
And you're like, oh, why do you waste your time? Here's what I like about it. First, we get down the regularity. We get it under control. And then once we have that down, then we start to parse it out a little bit more, and we can start to fit in smaller, faster videos, like the 3 things, or just quit. Or we have so many other ideas for smaller videos that we've been wanting to put into effect anyway. What's great about this is you don't have to switch from being creative to being I have to answer emails and deal with responsibilities like that. You don't have to do that every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like
it's very hard to switch brains like that.
Dude, it is the worst. And what the worst part about that is you're not buying your creative time in bulk anymore. You're getting it 30 minutes at a time.
Right, and so you don't get to go as deep too.
You don't get into it, you do not flow, and then you're like, okay, just as I got into it, now I'm answering emails.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing an interview with so and so. Now I'm doing whatever. So that part I'm extremely excited about. The idea that I could really just, because I hate doing the emails in the morning, I'm not gonna lie. I have not done well with that. So anyway, I'm excited about that. I'm excited because I've been trying to solve this problem for years, and I had never ever found a solution, and now Jessica just was like, well, here's the answer. And I was like, let's get married.
So again, we are taking a major risk by putting this solution out before we've tested it. We are enthusiastic. And by the way, there will be times when this won't work because, like, we're out of town doing a talk or something like that.
We'll figure something out.
But we'll figure it out, yeah. So, you know, maybe one week we don't have time to do one of the easy videos, but I'll have time to write a talk or to go give a talk or whatever. So we'll figure it out. But here's my goal. 2 videos a month. Reliably. 2 videos a month. Like, posting on Thursdays twice a month.
On a day that we determine in advance. We're going to start with baby steps here, folks. Because we recognize we've got a lot of other stuff on the plate. We're making, you know, we're making huge strides, and it doesn't feel like that because we're not hitting the marks that we set for ourselves. And it's important to remember that there's a difference between hitting the marks you set for yourselves and actually making progress. And we are making progress. It's just really chaotic sometimes. It's like when you're failing, you have to stop and go, okay, let's acknowledge the failing is happening.
Yeah, and what am I failing at, right? Edward had the best advice for me once, and I'm going to leave you with this. I was comparing myself to a friend who was like always on time and always did the thing that he said he would do when he said he would do it. And I was comparing myself to that. And I was like, he's so much better than me at life. And I fail at everything. And I feel horrible. And he was like, well, how much stuff is he attempting? How much stuff are you attempting? And I was like, oh, sometimes when you try more, you fail more. And that's okay. So, baby steps. 2 a month? 2 a month. We're gonna try it. Wish us luck. That's day 171.